YouTube, and welcome to this edition of Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. I'm Ronnie Humphrey, and as always, appreciate you guys joining us today. Thanks to you who have subscribed to the channel. We just blew up over this past weekend. We have 976 subscribers. We need 24 more. Get on the phone, call your ex-wife, call your boyfriend, call your girlfriend, your mother-in-law, whoever. Just get them to subscribe to the channel. Because once we reach 1,000 subscribers, YouTube will recognize us officially and they will start promoting our videos, and so we can reach more gearheads like you. Hey, we're going to get back on the Buick here this afternoon. It's Thanksgiving week. I got off work a little bit earlier. I travel all over the Southeast United States. I'm not traveling this week because we have a short week. I came home from work a little bit early. I said, hey, since we got the seat in last Saturday, let's mount some seat belts. Aren't them pretty? Woo, look at that. Beautiful. So, these came from a buddy of mine that runs an NHRA Pro Stock car. Can't tell you who he is, but he's on TV every week. And these were actually out of date. It's okay. They were free. We're not racing a car. Matter of fact, these belts, even though they're out of date, are probably better than what a lot of people are racing with at your average track on a Saturday night, which is sad. But anyway, these are just for looks only, but I thought they're pretty. Man, aren't them nice? So, speaking of belts, tighten your seat belts, and let's see what we can get done. Be right back with you. Most seat belts are mounted with tabs. However, some cars, like sprint cars, they're not mounted with tabs. They simply have a wraparound. A lot of people don't realize whenever Simpson or any other seatbelt manufacturer gives you the hardware that comes with the seat belts, it can either be a wraparound, or if you don't want to do this bolt-in tab like here. Tell you what, I'll take this out. Obviously, if it's got a hole in it, that's for a bolt-in tab. If you want to do a wraparound, you just simply take this tab out, wrap it around the bar, and use this plate here. So you have everything you need. It comes in the seatbelt kit in order to do a wraparound or a bolt-in. On this car, we did not weld a tab in when we were fixing the chassis to get ready for powder coating, because I wasn't sure on exactly seat placement and stuff just yet. We didn't have a seat at the time. So what I'm going to do is we're going to try to do a wraparound style seat mount. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to try that. I hope this works. I've got a slot right here behind the seat mount, in between the seat mount and this horizontal cage bar. They're going to be running a little bit of an angle, but I think that'll be okay. Again, we're not racing a car, and this just make it look a lot neater to be able to have them with the wraparound style. Now, on the bottom, they will be bolt-in for the lap belts. Then, of course, the anti-sub belt will go around the bar in front of the seat mount. All right, we got our shoulder straps separated from the buckle, and we're simply just going to unwrap these like this. And I tell you, people, do not put these, you always need to follow instructions that come with your seat belts. But I'm gonna show you a couple of things that we do. All right, then you'll see there, we simply slide this off, which sometimes is easier said than done. You gotta kind of fold the seat belts. There we go, all right. Hopefully we won't need this. We're gonna feed it through. And get that through. A little trick, just so you'll know, whenever you put seatbelts in for the first time, it's always hard to get them to the right length the first time. But I'll tell you a little secret. The manufacturers always want their name to be read on the shoulder. So you can get it really, really close if you'll just kind of lay this in there to where that emblem of the seatbelt manufacturer will be kind of up in this area, because they always want that free publicity. So that gets you real close in the ballpark when you start putting them in, so you don't get them in there, get everything adjusted, get in the car and realize, oh man, I'm nowhere close. All right, I'm going to use a little spring clip here to hold my seatbelts where I want them. And that way they won't keep sliding down. Now, what you want to do is you're going to slide this around this way, around the bar, come back around, Well, obviously we need to take some more space up. This slips out real easy here. So get about right there and wrap the bar around, or wrap around the bar. Come back through here. Then come back through this second hole on the other side of the little adjuster bar. Pull that through. Now, a lot of people stop at this point here, but this is what I always do. Always go back through this hole here. I'm gonna try to get me enough slack to do it. You always, well, this is the way I do it. It's a lot safer if you go ahead and feed this back through one more time. That belt is not going to move. So I went, back around the bar, over the back, and I come around one more time. And the trick is you only want one chrome bar. Look, this is the way I do it, but that gives you one extra locking place on the belt to keep it, and that's solid. I tell you, I think that's not as bad as angles as I thought. So we'll go ahead and get this other side in, and then we'll roll these up real nice, and we'll just tie strap them and fold these up. We'll just take a tie strap and run around through the belt like this. Go through that. Get my tie strap turned around the right way. All right. Okay, we'll snip this off. We'll nip it in the bud like Barney Fife says. All right, there you go. And nice and tight. So we'll get this other side wrapped up, then we'll move on to the lap belts. Okay, we're gonna move on now to our lap belts. I took the left side off already. Always make sure you use the proper size bolt that is recommended by the manufacturer. We're going to use 7/16. I see a lot of cars with 3/8. And look, if you're not running 200 miles an hour, 3/8 bolt is strong. But man, when you're dealing with your life, go ahead and put the largest size bolt that'll fit through this hole here. And where the powder coating was done, I'm going to let the wallers out just a little bit. I just had to get a little bit of that powder coat out. And now my 7/16 bolt will go through there. So this is real straightforward. This is simple as just bolting them in. You got plenty of adjustment. So we're gonna go through our hole here. All right, simple as that. I'm not gonna tighten these up just yet, but all right, we got 2 shoulder belts and 1 lap belt installed. So I got to crawl over in the car and get the other one. Probably won't film that because it's not going to be pretty. All right, when you get ready to tighten your belts, you always make sure that this plane is straight going up to the seatbelt hole. I know it's hard to see, but you don't, to over exaggerate it, you don't want it to tighten it and the belts are pulling on the edge. You want it to be straight, pulling against the full width of this flat area here, not down. So what I do is all the time, I'll take a wrench and I'll hold the back side, but I also will hold the seat belt in the position with my thumb so it has the right angle. There we go. Now, that is parallel with the hole, and that's the safest way, so there's no pressure on either side, but it's all pulling evenly across this hole right here. All right, our final belt is going to be our anti-sub belt. Y'all run these. If you're driving a race car, you're in a race car, make sure you run an anti-sub belt. We've got our shoulder straps in. We've got both of our lap belts in. Now, a while ago, I went ahead and ran these through the slots in the seat. I'm so fat, I usually end up running them on the outside. So it's kind of your preference, according to how big your driver is or how you are. But I'm probably going to end up, we'll see. We'll get in there in a minute. We're going to test fits for the first time. So we'll get in there and see. And I may end up running them on the outside. But if we do, it's no problem. The sub belt, in this particular case, was bolted in. Again, follow the recommendations of your seatbelt manufacturer. But what I do a lot of times, and in this particular case here, I'm just going to loop it through the hole here in the seat. So we're going to do the same thing we did before. And by the way, this is a good example here while showing you of how I install my belts. Go, come around, go back over the center and then back out, and then you have just that one bar showing. So, but we're going to take this all back apart. The sub belt is the hardest one to deal with because the length of it can be so frustrating. And I tell you, it's kind of unlike, I was saying a while ago, you can all the time cheat on these shoulder belts. If you get this belt up here about like that, that'll be about perfect because that usually gives you plenty of room to be able to adjust. Because anywhere in this area here, but on the sub belt, man, it's a crapshoot. So you don't know. So we're gonna run this through and see what we end up with. So I'm just gonna go ahead and run this through the hole here, and I may have to play with the length just a little bit, and we'll run it through here and see what we got. Now, I've got, I can tell you, that's way too, it's gonna be way down here. We're just gonna gamble about right here. Now, we're gonna come through, like we did a while ago, we're gonna go through that, back through the other side, then back over. We're gonna hide that top bar again. It's tight to get that in there, but that's the whole idea because you don't want any looseness in the belts, tension there. You gotta kind of work at it to get it feed through there. But I tell you, once you do, that ain't going anywhere. All right, so I bet I'm going to loosen that up just a little bit, but we're going to do a test fit. And let's see what we got to do. So let me see if I can get this thing down a little lower so we can crawl in here, and we'll see what it feels like. All right, this is a big moment in time. We're going to get in the car, sit in the seat for the first time with the belts and stuff and see what happens. So I'm going to throw these shoulder belts out of the way. And it's a whole lot easier getting in it now, I'll tell you what. Trying to get in my 88 car over there is tough. Let's see what happens here. Oh. Oh man. This is a big moment in time here. Seat feels pretty good. This is I think this is about 16 and a half. Tell you what, that sub belt may have to take a little bit of tension out of it. Let's see if we can get these cam locks are super nice. Boy, that's close. I tell you what, I can just adjust that right here real quick. And there it is. Once we get these cinched down a little bit. Oh yeah. I tell you, I didn't have any extra room on these shoulder belts. They were right at the end. But we got just enough to get them down tight. This one over here. All right. Man, well, can't reach my steering wheel. There we go. There it is. Man, this is big. But it feels pretty good. I wouldn't want to run 500 miles in this position, but the leg length is good for the seats, for the pedals, and not too low. If I was going to race this car, I would lean the seat back. Like I was showing, there's lots of adjustments on the seat. I might take the back down just a hair, but you know, you got plenty of clearance on all the bars, and man, this is good. Got my tape here on my wheel so I can see if anything gets knocked out. So there you go. That's how you install seat belts. Be right back with you. Went on ahead and hooked them back up so you can see what they look like. And again, if I was going to race a car, I might would run these on the outside, but we got it pretty close when we first put it in there. Another thing, if I was also going to race the car, if I had my fire suit on, I actually would extend these down just a little bit lower. But for what we're doing, this is fine. Look real nice.